Big story. A man beaten by Mesa police during his arrest is now telling his side of the story.
Evidence alleges the man had drugs on him when he was questioned by police, but he claims he cooperated and never attempted to fight the officers.
Team 12's Joe Dana joins us with more. And Joe, this is now the third recent case of Mesa police using questionable force.
That's right, Mark. The police chief acknowledged serious questions with how the first two incidents were handled. Now, this one is from back in January. The defendant's attorney is saying they are going public now because they have more reason than ever to question how Mesa police are treating suspects.
My hope is that my case can bring meaningful change within the Mesa Police Department.
He's a 23-year-old father and landscaper, born and raised in Arizona. Jose Condi claims he's also a victim of police assault.
The facts are simple, and they are these. I was searched, I was thrown to the ground, I was heaved into a wall, I was tased, I was punched over and over by multiple cops, I was gouged in the eye, and I was hit in the head with a massive police flashlight. Aww. After all of this, they laughed. They laughed at me while I laid in a pool of my own blood, barely conscious.
You gotta be a man, man. Man up.
His injuries required staples to his head and stitches to reattach part of his ear. But injuries alone don't suggest officers were at fault. The question is what prompted officers on this January night to feel they needed to take down Jose in the first place. A body cam video shows one officer talking to Jose's friend, the driver who was initially pulled over. You can see another officer talking to Jose on the other side of the car. But there is no body cam video available from that officer.
I don't know what happened, and the reason I don't know what happened is because so far I don't have video of any of the initial stop.
Their conversation seems cordial for several minutes, then it erupts. The Mesa police report states after finding a bag of drugs on Jose, the sergeant searching him noticed Jose tensed up and believed an imminent attack was going to occur, so he grabbed Jose and took him to the ground. Jose attempted to fight off the sergeant. The available video of the struggle is dark and chaotic. In some ways, it's the officer's words against the defendant. Now, Mesa Police Chief Ramon Batista issuing a statement reads in part, "We are currently reviewing the January 2018 incident and video that surfaced Wednesday. Upon completion of our review, we will make the videos and report available." Simply put, the tape released yesterday does not tell the full story concerning this arrest. Jose Condi was on probation for a drug offense and now faces drug possession and assault on police charges. His attorney says they're not trying to sue the police department, but they are in negotiations with the county attorney trying to get Condi's charges dismissed.